This conference
But
will now be recorded.
Since they will have a copy of it, that we would both like to FOI that tonight.
I'm
Session
happy
is being recorded.
I'm happy to get you a recording of the meeting, Joe and Melissa. I'm sorry that you're not able to participate like you want to.
I would like a video recording of one, because this is the
Karen, is
third
this
time.
being video recorded?
I recorded on a telephone, but a lot of good that does. Video expressions and the faces.
Still can't hear you, Karen.
It's being video recorded.
Okay, so how quickly can we get that to Joe and Melissa?
Tomorrow.
Can we get it to them in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Joe and Melissa, you'll have a video copy of it in the morning.
9 or 10 possibly.
I'll do my best.
As soon as we can in the morning.
Okay, that's acceptable. You agree, Melissa?
Yeah, that's good with me. I mean, we just got a phone number. That's just the only thing, is that's all we were. So, but yeah, a recording would be great.
All right, does anybody know if Wiggly's planning on joining us? And Michael James?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here?
Okay.
I'm here.
Michael James here? And Cedric? Figure out who all we're missing.
I think.
All right, well, it's 5:36. Vicki, do you want to start?
I don't have the agenda or anything. So if you have the agenda, you're just going to go down the agenda and they're just going to do their presentations.
All right, I'll run it. Bettina, you're first. Would you like to talk about what you'd like from once it sales tax? Bettina, can you hear me?
Thanks.
I can't hear you. Your mic is, you're not muted.
Bettina, look in the upper right-hand corner of the screen and see if there's a little microphone.
Thanks, Jackson. Thanks, Jackson.
Okay, can you hear me?
Well, I got two of them going.
We can
Okay,
now.
so I don't know what happened. Let me mute myself. Okay, so I'm just going to use my phone.
Okay. Speak loudly. It's hard to hear.
Okay. I'm going to step away from the laptop because it's an echo. I don't know what
I left out on my phone.
Is this better?
A little bit.
I think if everyone will probably use their line. You still hear me?
A little. It's hard to hear
Okay, is
you.
this better? Is this
Yes.
better?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, great. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and get started with the Boys and Girls Club for the 2021 fiscal year. Our request is $55,000. And before we get started, we want to, as always, thank the City Council and all the members and just everyone in the Monticello and your county community for assisting us thus far to do what we do here in Monticello and the parents. And I know in respect of everyone's time, I will keep it brief, which I did submit a pretty lengthy proposal, just kind of talking about what we will be doing with the funds. But again, we're asking $55,000. In 1 second here.
Uh-huh.
1 sec. Let me go back.
Okay, because I downloaded the app, is what I did. I didn't try to get on.
Okay, so on our 55, the breakdown goes as such. Can everyone still hear me? Because I can't see you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
I got an app.
30,000 is for 4 program staff instructors, and we run these 4 programs, but we kind of rotate them, and so we can keep the same 4 staff instead of hiring more. $4,500 for art and craft supplies, and that's for our after-school youth and our summer students. $3,000 for PPE, COVID protective and prevention gear. $1,000 for awards and incentives for improved and outstanding youth. $3,500 for just general supplies. $2,500 for our mentoring curriculum. $500 for a new laptop. $6,000 is our annual rent for the City Park building. $2,500 for table games, and $1,500 for Boys and Girls Club staff and training, to come to a total of $55,000. And I did say summer. We did not have summer last year, and I'll just throw this kind of out at you. We are anticipating that school will be closed probably at some point. I think they're trying to hold on to after Christmas. And so if school is closed, we are almost finalizing all of our plans to be able to open up all day for first responder students, you know, the firemen's children, all of those, the teachers that'll still have to go to school to be able to do virtual. We want to still open up with our protective gear and keep a small number of kids for first responders. And so we've been in all kinds of trainings and meetings with the Boys and Girls Club headquarters of America. And so that is part of our request as well. And so that is our breakdown for the 55 for our request.
Give me just a second. I'm having to get access information to a council member.
No. Is that what that is?
Okay. Did anybody have any questions for Bettina? get all your breakdowns. There was a 3,500 for general supplies, I think. And then there was a number after that I missed.
Okay, so 2,500 for mentoring curriculum.
20 for what? I'm sorry.
Our mentoring program.
Mentoring. Okay, that was what I missed. All right. So 30,000, 4,500, 3,000, 1,000, 3,500, 2,500, 500, 6,000, and 2,500. That's how it broke down.
Yes, the last one was 1,500 for our
1,500. What
annual
was that
Boys and Girls
for?
Club staff training.
What training?
Our headquarters Boys and Girls Club national training,
Okay.
and that was all.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for Bettina? Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
I'm going to
Bettina.
disconnect from my cell. Yes, and I'll go back to my laptop.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
All right. Next, Nita.
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of the directors and officers of the Monticello Economic Development Commission, I hope that you've received the statement of qualifications and the cover letter with our request for MEDC respectfully requests $275,000 for the provision of economic development services on behalf of the city of Monticello for the operating year 2021. This is the same amount that we charged for our services last year. We have not increased that request in several years. That includes our programs, our payroll expenses and employee benefits for a staff of 3, which does include the Office of City Property Inspection. It includes professional fees, all of our insurance and subscriptions, travel expenses to implement these services, and advertising and marketing. And our services include recruiting business and industry, marketing for economic development, seeking and applying for economic development related grants, existing industry retention and assistance. It is also to support and enhance city government efforts where requested, such as strategic planning, which we will be continuing in the coming year, and all of the expenses with the exception of the actual cleanups or demolitions for the Office of City Property Inspection. And I will entertain any questions that you may have. In the statement of qualifications are examples of the work that we've done in 2021 as well as previous years.
Anybody have any questions for Nita? All right. We'll move on to Police Chief Jason Akers.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Good. It's good to see you all, even if it's on a screen. Our request from 1 cent sales tax this year will be the same as it was last year. We're going to ask for vehicles. That's typically how the police department, I believe, is obtained its vehicles, is through 1 cent sales tax. We have last year, I believe it was around 111,000 for 3 vehicles that were out to be outfitted. That's counting the cost of getting them on state bid, and then, you know, the outfitting of the cages and the sirens and lights and decals and whatnot. We've applied for a USDA grant that's got us up to where we're eligible for up to $50,000. So we're going to ask for 4 Durangos. And if you'll remember back a few months ago, we had 2 vehicles that were damaged, one in an accident and one with a tree falling on it. We got insurance money from that. We were able to buy a vehicle. We didn't get it outfitted then. We didn't have the money. Didn't feel like it was the right time to ask. So we would like to get with our USDA grant, the total cost of 4 Durangos is $118,200. 5 outfittings would be 39,675, I believe. That total would be 158.4. However, with the USDA grant, it's going to lower it down to 108.4, and that would put us in 4. It would help us get rid of some of the aging fleet, put us with 4 new vehicles, outfit the 5th one that we bought with the insurance money, still cheaper than what we spent on 3 vehicles last year outfitting them. So if we went with 3 Durangos and 3 outfits, that's roughly 112,455, as you'll see in your printout there. So with everything going okay with the USDA grant, we should actually wind up cheaper with more vehicles. So we're basically getting 1 free and 2 outfits for free with the grant. Should the grant not come through, we anticipate that it will. If the council will remember, we set up the account earlier in the year to purchase the body cameras, and so that account stays open. That's a USDA requirement. And if we can get the 108.4 and put in that account as the grant progresses through, the USDA sees that we have our money there, and they will match us up to $50,000 to get the rest of the to offset the rest of the cost. So our total request now is 108.4. That should get us, with the USDA grant, that should get us in 4 Durangos outfitted with the 5th one from earlier that was purchased early in the year outfitted as well. So does anybody have any questions?
I'm good.
Good.
Everybody else okay?
Chief, what are the ages of the vehicles you would replace?
It would be the oldest ones. I believe they're anywhere from 2013. I think there's even one 2008 maybe. I think 2013s, maybe 14s. They're the Dodge Chargers, and we would be trying to eliminate them from the fleet. If you'll remember, a couple years ago, the police department was that we had some other expenses, I believe, was skipped, and those cars are up there in miles, and they're killing our maintenance. So we're trying to replace them as quick as we can, and get that they're money pits, and we're trying to get rid of them. So it would be the oldest ones, the ones that have cost us the most, the ones that repeatedly cost us the most, to get rid of them and get to more reliable Durangos.
Jason, do you have to return those to M&R? The old
M&R.
vehicles?
No, sir. Typically what they've done in the past is the airport. We'd like to try to help the airport. If we can give one to the airport, we can auction them. I believe it was in 2019. The mayor may have to correct me on that, but I believe in 2019 we held an auction where we auctioned off and that money went back to the city. And we tried to coincide that with a prosecuting attorney's auction, so we wouldn't be out necessarily the cost of an auctioneer. But that's typically another way to kind of reutilize those old cars, because there are people that buy them for parts, and there are some that buy them to drive. So as you've seen, I mean, there's a few of them floating around in South Arkansas that still have some of the scratchy emblems from various departments. But that's typically what we do with them. We like to the cages and things like that. There may be other departments that need those that may want to buy those. We've got the option of keeping them. And reutilize them in another way, but we basically would strip them down and sell them at public auction.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? All right, thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to say something, Mayor. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this, but I'm having a lot of communication issues. I mean, the visual is fine, but during Jason's presentation, many times where he's breaking up, the quality of the sound is, and I can't hear anybody else's responses for the most part because they're just breaking up. Is it just me, or is anybody else experiencing that?
I heard you fine.
Yeah, Mike, I can hear you fine, Mike.
I have no problem.
I didn't have a problem.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is especially Jason was breaking up during his presentation.
Yeah, but he didn't break up with me. I
Am I
could
the
hear
only
him
one
fine.
having that problem?
Yep.
I can
You're
hear
the
you.
only one, Mike. Yeah, I can hear him fine.
Okay.
I'm good.
I can too.
If you're not speaking, it helps to mute the audio, and that helps on the communication end too.
Y'all want to keep going? All right, now I see your mouth moving, but I hear nothing.
Well, at this point, I can barely ascertain as to what's going on.
Who said that? Joe Meeks?
Excuse me?
Who said that?
No,
You?
it was Wiggly. Hey, Wiggly, just dial in using your phone, the dial-in number. Don't use the computer audio. You'll get clear communication.
You want the
Your
phone number?
bandwidth.
My phone does not work in my office.
That may be why your
Okay.
computer's not working. I mean, that may be your problem.
You grab me one of those stomach.
Let's just
pillows.
move on. I'll keep up best I can.
Okay. All right, well, next we've got Chief Eric Chisholm for the fire department.
Thank you, Mayor. Our request for 2,000 on one item I don't have listed on this is the annual payment on our ladder truck. It's right at 135,000. That comes out of this sales tax. Item number one on my list is a pit around the north and east sides of the station. This and we're pulling it on the back side. The pit traders and give a little bit of private security around the bay. Number two on my list is the 6 AEDs, and you scratch that. Our association, as you know, we're a nonprofit, the Firefighter Association. Earlier, to work with people, the Walmart community group, and we replaced our 6 AEDs. Those 2 grants. I don't need the money for the. Number 3 is a standby station 2. This year, we did a lot of updating and remodeling station 2. A lot of old, moldy station, old ceiling tiles, ducts, replaced all that, improved the quality out there. The whole thing we don't have out there now is a standby generator. If the power goes out, those tall doors out there, you have to raise them, and they're a pain. They're not easy to do. Standby generator, not only the door issue, but also power, everything else. Should we lose power out there? And this actually happened a couple of times where we were without power several days out there. Item 4 is add on to Central Station, add a bay on the east side, just on the north side of our generator. It's about a half, we call it a half bay. The estimate I have from the construction company, it includes the bay, which is a 30 by 35, and also enlarges our driveway. Takes it on out, adds a 36 by 75 foot driveway for that bay, and also a little more turning around room back there for fill trucks and load hoses and everything. That bay, we have 2 trucks stacked in right now, backed in one behind the other, and it's just a matter of time before we're going to have to replace our pumper, and they're not getting any smaller. I'm looking at trying to phase this in, get a truck moved while we can, and then when we get time and have the money to buy a new truck, replace it, we're not having to special build and scrunch a truck down to make it fit in a tight space. We can get a truck that's going to serve the needs of the city for a long time. So, any questions?
Hey, Chief, I missed the payment amount on the ladder truck. Could you do you have that amount?
Vicky, you'll have to correct about at 145,000 if I'm not
Yeah.
paying.
It's 135 to 145, and I think we make the last payment in 2022.
Yes, we'll have 2 more payments. 2021 and 2022 are the last. That's the last 2 payments on the ladder truck.
How old are the AEDs that you have?
The ones we got rid of were about 10 years old, and like I said, we got those replaced. I just got them in last week or week before last.
Okay. And where all do they go? You need 6. Where all do they go?
No, ma'am, we've replaced it. We got a grant. Our association got a grant, and I was able to replace all of our AEDs. We have AEDs on both rescue trucks, both
Oh,
pumpers.
so that's coming out of your grant request, your ones that sales tax request?
Yes, ma'am. Scratch that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, we've got all of our AEDs replaced. The ones we had that I was trying to replace were outdated and also had been recalled. So.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was having Wiggly's problem when you were talking. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? No? All right. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Mayor.
Public Works is next. Charlie, you on? Yeah, I see you.
Yes, yes, ma'am, I'm on. Can y'all hear me?
Uh-huh.
The first item I have is 3 SCBA's so when we're working in the wells and have a chlorine leak, so we won't be breathing the gas. And it's at $7,035 for 3 SCBA's. That way we can have one, in the trucks, so we can, if we have leaks, we can go in and be safe changing it. The next item is a 2019 New Holland tractor, 50-horse tractor with a loader. It's at $27,487. Right now, all we have is the big New Holland tractor. We don't have no small ones to do no bush hogging. So we still got all the equipment, but we don't have no tractors. And I got 2 trucks listed. It's a 3/4 ton extended cab 2-wheel drive, and then I have a 3/4 ton crew cab. The first one is at $24,622 for the extended cab. The crew cab is $25,749. That's we got some trucks. We got some 01s up to 07 trucks, and a lot. We got 5, but we got 2 02s and 3 03s. They're getting kind of raggy, and we spend lots of money on them. And I'm going with a 3/4 ton so we can use them to pull stuff. We won't be wearing and tearing up nothing. And on the stick steer I have it's a stick steer with the bush hog to help it's on the front to help clear the right of ways for the water and sewer lines. So instead of having to spend days in there or all day to try to work our way into a water line to fix a leak, that we can start maintaining them, and it'll help easier to fix leaks, and we ain't got to clear a right of way to start. But it is $100,200. But the sales tax, we weren't exactly for sure what it was, so it's a little cushion. And my final, I guess, total request is $185,093 for the total.
Anybody have any questions for Charlie?
Hey, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
On this skid steer, I know that the right-of-ways you're talking about are right-of-ways that they're overgrown, haven't been maintained. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we use something to get the right-of-ways clear, would they be able to be maintained in the future with just like a bush hog or something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So is it possible, or have we considered using someone that has equipment already to go and do these right-of-ways?
No, sir. I haven't asked, but we got several, I guess, 100 miles of right-of-ways. Like if you're coming from the college, coming through to 01 Road on that power line out there, we got a right-of-way through there that hasn't been cleaned since I've been here, and it's kind of growed up, but it's not but it's something we can maintain. But yes,
I guess what prompted me to what prompted me to ask is, we contracted with Terry out at the lake here right away for a trail. He's got skid steer with a mulcher.
Yes, sir.
So I was curious what that would look like cost-wise as compared to purchasing something like this.
Well, it would probably take a year or better or more to get all the right-of-ways done. And I don't know what the outcome would be. It'd probably be probably be cheaper to buy one than it was to rent one for that long a period of time.
Yeah.
Well, let's check on that though. Let's check.
Yes,
and see
ma'am. I can call Mr. Terry and see
what the cost would be.
Now, on your bid too, I saw that you had a cutter and a mulcher. Would you want both of
Well,
those
what
attached?
it is, no, it's one that they gave us a price on the stick steer and they gave us a price on the cutter, but they just for option, we got, if we didn't want the cutter, they'd put the price in for the mulcher.
I got you.
So,
okay. All right. On your trucks, those prices, are those state bid prices?
yes, sir.
Those are? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Does it make a difference on the make?
No, sir.
Someone else, I saw that Gerald, for example, has some Dodges, but his are half ton, not 3/4.
Yes.
They're quite a bit cheaper than the Fords. So.
Yes. No, sir. It does not matter on what brand. We normally just pull a state bid and see which ones that will work with us and that could get us the trucks that we need.
So I guess, is it by chance Dodge are cheaper than Fords, or do we know? Is that a possibility?
No, I'm not for sure. That they just gave me the ones on the Fords, and then because at the time there wasn't none. I don't think the Dodge was on there at the time. They just looked at we looked at the state bids, and the Fords was on there.
Okay. All right. And what about the tractor? Is that on the state too?
Yes, sir. It's just it's a New Holland that they had over there in McGee, and it's on the state bid also.
I got you. Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Now on that, before you, excuse me, he is gonna look into contracting that out, right?
Yes.
Okay, then that's what I want to make sure of.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
Mayor, do we keep any kind of inventory of vehicles owned by the city with the mileage report, condition, age?
We have started an inventory. Now we have all that in our insurance. They're all covered by insurance, so we've got all that in insurance. But we haven't. The city's never done anything as far as an inventory. As far as I know, I don't think the insurance takes into account the mileage on those vehicles.
Yeah, I guess what I was thinking more of is it would be something that maybe quarterly, monthly, I don't know, it might be too frequent to do it monthly, but quarterly, we would look at the numbers in terms of mileage and repairs and those sorts of things.
Now we're literally working on that and have been for the last 3 or 4 or 5 months. Getting an inventory with mileage and costs spent associated with maintaining, costs spent with that cost for repairs. Repairs and maintenance are different. So anyway, we're working on that right now.
Okay, that'd be good.
Yep. I want to say that I just want to add a comment that these SCBA masks, we are supposed to have those. Our men and or women who go in our wells to chlorine or fluoride to our water, they're supposed to be wearing a mask, and we do not have any and haven't had any for quite some time. So we could do with 2 if we couldn't get 3, but we really need those.
Right. What kind of mask are they?
They're SCBA masks. They prevent gases and air from, it filters the air that comes in so that you can breathe.
Okay.
Yeah, self-contained breathing apparatus.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Kind of almost like what you would use for diving, except it's not for underwater.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's what the fire department uses.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. The only difference, these are listed as industrial packs on the estimate that I got for Charlie.
Mhm.
The difference is the pass device and some safety features that firefighter packs have to have are not included in these packs because they're industrial and they don't have to have the down firefighter signal and stuff like that. Other than that, it's the same, more or less the same thing, same brand that we're buying with the grant that we received earlier this year for the COVID grant. Same brand packs, and it does the same thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just a question on, I know Jason had talked about a USDA grant. Is that grant applicable to anything else we're talking about here, equipment-wise, like these breathing apparatuses? Do we know?
I'm not sure. I've been looking at grants for water and sewer, but I've been specifically looking for grants that will help us with our bigger projects. And I've been working, I mean, I need 3 more heads and 8 more arms and 8 more legs to get it all done by myself. Actually, I need probably 5 more heads. In 2 weeks of time worth in 1 week.
Mayor, a question for Charlie before we, I'm sorry. Question for Charlie before we move on. Charlie, the quote from South Ark Equipment Company says new 2019. So did I understand that's a carryover?
Yes,
or is
sir.
this okay? This is a non-used tractor that we got the quote on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Anybody else? All right, we'll go to parks next.
So based on our minutes from the our October meeting, we are requesting 3 trucks for Gerald, also 2 grasshoppers, and 1 mule. And I apologize. I'm kind of hoping that Gerald has amounts. I don't have any amounts listed in the minutes. Gerald, do you have any of the amounts?
We've got them listed, Taylor. There, okay. Can you see them on the screen now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That concludes that's all that we're asking.
Okay, and if you read Gerald's letter, they are, the 2002 Dodge is not working at all. Their 2001 Chevrolet seat is broken and only 1 person can drive it. And they're currently borrowing vehicles from the warehouse and the PD. So they are in need of really 4 trucks. Gerald, do you have anything you want to add?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Barely.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do I have any what now?
Did you have anything you wanted to add to what Taylor and I said?
No, ma'am. We just that Dodge, it's been out of commission for here about 4 months now. We don't have it up and running. And like I said, we borrowing a vehicle, a Durango from the police department, and we borrowing a truck from the warehouse. So we need the vehicle pretty bad. And on our grasshoppers, last year we got 2, and we put one out at the sports complex, and we put another one uptown. But what I need to do, I need to replace the 2004 and the 2006 model grasshopper. I need to put another one at the sports complex and another one uptown.
No. That's where that push it down.
And on our mule, that mule is about 18 years old, and we have out at the sports complex. And we had the steering wheel welded on it. We put about 3 starters on it. It's just wore out. It barely made it through the year this year, so we need to do something about that mule. Do anybody have any questions?
So are you asking for 2 grasshoppers?
Yes, sir.
Or 3?
2.
That's 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Gerald, did you get that other price on the mule?
No, ma'am, they was closed today. I had to call them tomorrow.
Mr. Shepherd, you mentioned.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Shepherd, you mentioned in your letter 2 vehicles that are no longer in use for your purpose, but you're requesting 3. What's the need for the third one?
Well, the third one is the 2011 Ford we got. So we're trying to. I need to update my vehicles if I could.
I think, hey, Gerald, how many vehicles do you operate now? You use 3 vehicles regularly now, don't you?
No, sir, we're using 4 right now.
4, okay. So
what I got is I got the crew out at the complex, and then I got Timmy covers City Park, and I got Timmy Lee covers Jordan Park and the cemetery, and then my truck. So we got 4 vehicles right now. Then they all be going different ways. So, I mean, Mitchell them out at the complex got the Durango, and Timmy Lee got the Ford that we borrowed from the warehouse.
okay. So of your current 4, you only have 1 that's really assigned to parks and the rest are borrowed. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Gerald, this is Mike. I've got a question for you too, sir.
Okay.
Of these 6 pieces of equipment that you're requesting, could you prioritize them for us in terms of how important it is on each one of them that you get, just in case we're not able to fund all of these?
Yes, sir. They are prioritized. The trucks, the grasshoppers, and the mule, in that order.
Okay, so if you couldn't get something, it's the mule that you would not want to replace.
Well, if I couldn't, yeah.
You need the 3rd truck worse than you need the mule.
Yes, sir. I'd have to make it the truck. The vehicle,
Okay.
we've been having problems with vehicles for years, so we need the vehicle bad. And now that mule, I'm telling you, it's not gonna make another year.
I'm sorry, you broke up on me, Gerald.
I said that mule will not make another season.
So could you give up 1 grasshopper for a mule?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 3
I'm not
trucks,
hearing.
3 trucks, 1 grasshopper, 1 mule.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not hearing anybody.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes, sir.
you said you have prioritized this list, 57,000, 36,000, and 12,000, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You really need the 3 vehicles?
Yes, sir.
My understanding, you need the grasshoppers?
Yes, sir.
If you didn't get one grasshopper, what would happen? What would happen?
I can make it. I can make it.
Okay.
I would make it work.
So the 57,000 and 18,000 and the 12,000.
Yes, sir.
You can make it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then thank you.
All right. Anybody else have any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Gerald, and thank you, Taylor.
Thank you.
Okay, Vicki, do you have anything to add? Vicki?
I'm having trouble. I didn't hear any of Nita's presentation, so it's muting in and out. But anyway, we'll just go by the council's direction as to what they want to try to work into the 1 cent sales tax budget when we prepare it.
Y'all want to work that out tonight, or you want to think about it and?
What was your statement, Vicky?
Do what now?
What was your last statement?
We'll go with the direction of the council as to which of those you want to fund. You want to try to, what do you want to try to work into the 1 cent sales tax budget? That will go on your direction. And whenever you want to do that, if you want to do that tonight, if we need to come back, or however y'all want to do it.
Okay, do we have to do it tonight?
We don't have to. That's up to
No,
y'all.
you don't have to do it tonight. That's up to.
Personally, I would like to study all of the proposals and then get back.
Okay, is that how everyone else feels?
I mean, I don't think we have enough information to really act on some of these tonight because we still have people looking at finalizing pricing and other options. You know.
Well, if Charlie and I are going to look at contracting, or if he's going to look at contracting our right-of-ways, then yeah, you're right.
Would it be helpful if we had a spreadsheet that had just the name of each item and the amount? Where we could look at it just in that, I mean, we don't need all the written justification. I know everybody needs this stuff, but we'll have some hard decisions to make, as usual.
Vicki, do you know how to make a spreadsheet like that?
I just lost that whole conversation.
Okay, Dr. Lasser was asking if it would be easier if we had like a spreadsheet with the items and their prices. So, because
I mean, I can do a sheet that'll just be one whole sheet by department that'll have it all on there, because it'll be budgeted by department. But okay. I can do one sheet, that's got all the requests on it, but I would still kind of group it by department so you'd know who was asking for what.
Right. Well,
I think
that's kind of what he's asking for.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can do that.
Vicki, don't we usually get some kind of sheet itemizing the 1 cent sales tax fund so that we can have an idea of what we're working with and where it's going?
I mean, you've got a budget. I mean, it'll be just a budget, and we'll take the budget and we'll plug in what the known things are, and then you'll come back and once we get to knowing exactly what the rest of the budget looks like, we'll plug in all the known stuff first, and then you just go down there and do your revenue, and then you just start looking at what you're wanting to fund.
If Vicki weren't on quarantine and we were all meeting in person, we would already have all that information. It's just been a rough year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still at home, so I've worked on some of it at home, but I can't go too far with it until we kind of know what we're wanting to do. I mean, you'll have the revenue and, the payment for the fire truck And I had given Paige some preliminary information as to what we would think we would have over at the end of, left over at the end of the year to kind of add to what we're going to collect next year, but I don't have any of that with me here. I've got my budgets here, but I don't have that with me. So it's just up to however, you know, however you want to proceed.
Okay, well, I think we've got two people who voiced wanting to wait and make, you know, have an opportunity to review the information. And is that how everyone else feels?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
And then
so-
I'll have to in a budget form, the stuff that we have to do. And then that'll kind of give you an idea on the revenue. So I can do that when I master sheet.
Vicky, hey, this is Joe.
Yes.
Is your have-to list going to include the levee repairs, the water pond or the sewer pond repairs?
Yes, those
Yeah, 'cause
things will be worked into it.
those things.
Yes, those
Thank
will be worked into here. Yep.
All right. Well, I know it's not been the easiest meeting simply because it's virtual, but I appreciate everybody trying and being patient through it. We'll just keep going. And now I canceled Thursday's meeting because I think this is the most difficult way to meet ever.
Amen.
Yep.
You all agree?
Amen.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's just see how the world moves, and maybe, and I'm praying, I bet all y'all are too, that this coronavirus will go away or lighten up so that we can meet in person again. So let's just hang tight and see if that doesn't happen. And, you know, obviously we'll have to do something about it if it doesn't get better, and we'll have to continue meeting this way. But I would like, if at all possible, to meet in person again. So let's just hold on until we see how things work out.
So
When is our next
Thursday?
meeting?
Our next meeting is scheduled for the 15th. That's council at 6
Okay.
o'clock.
At 6?
Mhm.
And we will not have another meeting until then.
Right.
Okay. And I'm assuming December the 15th will be virtual.
At this point, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And as soon as I can get back to work, you'll get the rest of I've got all the other budgets prepared except for 2. And you'll be getting those to have in your possession for 2021. You got half of them and you'll be getting the other half. And we're passing that in January, right, Paige?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying really hard to.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We just get all back together.
Yeah.
It's all, like I said, all of them are done, but 2 departments, and it's 2 small departments, and you've got half of them. So, and then we'll be at a point where we can start talking about the rest of them. So.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate your patience
I
and
got
your
a question. I got a technical question for Joe Meek. Joe, are you there? Joe
Yeah, I'm
Meek.
here. Yeah.
Hey, you know, I was saying earlier I was having some communication issues, and I close out completely of the meeting and go back in. I did that twice during the meeting. So as it gets so bad, I just can't hear anything, and I go out and come back in, and it's somewhat better for quite a while. What does that sound like to you?
It's bandwidth issues, Mike. And I'll tell you the best way to do these meetings, I do them daily for work. We use WebEx, and we always dial in to the meetings using a telephone. We rarely use computer audio because you get the lag, not only the lag and the delay, but you get the warble. If the audio is not got enough bandwidth, you're not going to understand. You're not going to follow. So when she sends out the link, it's got a link, and then down below it's got an audio only phone number. Call that audio number, and don't use your computer for audio.
Okay.
That especially if you've got poor internet service at home, not a really good audio. So
Thanks, Joe.
That will eliminate all the audio issues we have.
Great advantage of the audio only with the phone is you don't have to see Charlie. I see Charlie right now.
Well, no, Dr. Laster, you still log in with the app. You still view.
Yeah, no, I understand, but you don't have the picture, the video.
No, well, you can. You can do exactly what you're doing now. It's just instead of having the audio come over your computer, you have it on your phone. Do it on speakerphone or earbuds or whatever.
Must be AT&T.
Do what?
Must be AT&T.
Yep. That's what it is.
Yeah, but I have one request.
We'll shut this meeting down before it gets ugly.
I have one request though. I didn't get Nita's presentation. So can I get that email to me?
Yeah, it should. You should have it already. You didn't get it in in an email?
No.
Or
Well,
Google
what,
Drive?
a separate email? I got Gerald's, the fire department, but I didn't get hers.
Okay, we'll send you Nita's. Terrence sent all that together. Did you get the Boys and Girls Club?
Excuse me?
Did you get the Boys and Girls Club?
No.
No?
When was that sent? When was it sent?
All of this was sent today.
It's the very last one.
Cedric, the entire thing was sent about 2:30, 3 o'clock this afternoon. That was all together. Did you get that one?
Well, no, I hadn't checked email then.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's in there, Cedric.
So
If
it's on my email. I'll check it.
if it's not in there, let her know in the morning. We sent them all this afternoon.
Okay, I haven't checked
Them
since 2
all
o'clock.
till this afternoon.
Cedric, it says finance meeting complete packet sent at 3:32 p.m.
Okay, then I look for it because like I said, I hadn't checked since 2 o'clock.
Yeah, you can't blame AT&T for not checking email.
Just the voice recording, just the sound, just the sound.
Right. Thank you, everybody. Everybody
Bye-bye.
go eat. Be good
Bye-bye.
and stay safe.
Good night.